Well, there are a lot of people out there who promise big diet results from their diet regimen, but maybe the key to weight loss is all in our heads. My next guest says that getting tough on yourself and being the adult, even with yourself, is the answer to so many things, but also the answer to your relationship with yourself and ultimately your own health. Steve Siebold is the author of Fat Loser, and he's here to toughen us up. Steve, welcome to Smart Life.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Good to have you. I find it so fascinating when I read that you've had death threats and had to travel with security guards on your book tour because of your controversial message. People so can't stand the idea of acting like adults and taking responsibility for their own lives, even in this realm, that you've run into problems like that. I mean, I get those, but my world is political, so it's different. But you say, yeah, people don't want to be told to be adults.
Yeah, exactly right. Really, the message of the book is self-responsibility. Grow up emotionally, get tough, mentally tough, and fix the problem. And that's really all it takes.
Fat Loser, mental toughness training for dieters, filled with 101, I'll get this right, bold and in-your-face strategies to help those struggling. I mean, the bottom line is we love to whine, don't we, about what victims we are in the diet world. Oh, there are so many temptations. I know in all the commercials and, oh my goodness, I eat practically nothing and I still gain weight. How is that happening? And you're saying, get honest with yourself, aren't you? Isn't that essentially what you're saying?
Exactly. Look in the mirror, get honest, and realize that you're the problem, but you're also the solution. And we even had people. My last book I wrote in 2009 about this. We had people say, I can't afford a book, so this book we're actually giving away on our website. The download, people can get it at fatloser.com for free. So there's no excuse now because they're getting the book for free.
You've removed the excuses. How dare you? No wonder you're getting death threats. You say that being 99% faithful to your health and your fitness is tantamount to standing at the altar on your wedding day and saying, I will love, honor, and cherish you 99% of the time. You say it takes 100% of the time, bar none. Grow up, deal with it, and be faithful to your own personal health goals all the time.
Yeah, it really is a legitimate parallel because, it's really about a major commitment. It's habit change. And obviously we've all developed bad habits and they're hard to change. And it takes, a good 3 to 4 weeks, as any psychologist will tell you, to really make a big habit change. And if you're not fully committed to it, just like you are your spouse or significant other, it's not going to happen. You're kidding yourself. You're deluding yourself. So you've got to go 100%. 99% is not enough.
Some of the lies we tell ourselves, and I may or may not have been guilty of one or two of these in my time, we say things like, there's going to be a magic pill. I am so waiting on that magic pill. I can't wait for that magic pill. But right now, there's no magic pill. And you say we shouldn't lie to ourselves and tell ourselves to wait on that. We shouldn't wait. We think, well, if our doctor didn't say anything, then we must not really be that bad, right? My mom uses this with smoking. She'll say, well, my doctor didn't say anything. He says I'm healthy as a horse despite the fact I smoke. That doesn't equal the doctor thinks it's good to smoke. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. The other one you say is stop waiting for Washington to save you. Heck, government's going to take care of everything now. They're going to take care of our health care. They're going to take care of us when we're old, when we're young, when we die, when we live. And we're waiting for someone else to come up with the answers, aren't we? Nobody's coming to the rescue, are they?
Absolutely right. No one is coming to the rescue. And the reason, of course, that our doctors are not telling us to stop smoking, reduce our drinking or stop eating too much because we're fat. They're afraid to lose patients. I've interviewed hundreds of doctors, debated them on TV, radio, all over the world, and they've told me backstage so many times, and hundreds of them have said, I can't afford to lose patients. I'm a small business, just like any other business, and if I tell people they're fat or they smoke too much or they drink too much and they ought to change, they're going to get a new doctor. And we've got to realize, I think, at this point in history, Marcus Welby is dead. The days of counting on our doctor to be our physical barometer in every way, including philosophically for that matter, they're gone. I mean, we've got to take responsibility for our own lives. It's not up to our doctor. It's up to us.
One of the things you say, and I have to be honest with you, I hate this one. Well, I hate a lot of them, to be honest with you. But one of the things you say is, stop socializing with fat people. What about my fat friends, or what if my family or my parents or my children are fat? Stop socializing with them? Isn't that a little harsh?
Well, yeah, it's gotten some controversy, no question about it. And the idea is not to say that fit people are better than fat people or smarter or better or faster or stronger in any way. the idea is that, like Einstein said, consciousness is contagious. Our moms told us this when we were children. The people you hang around, you become like the people you associate with, and that's obviously a fact. So you got to be careful. You hang around fat people who are failing at this particular area of their life. And as you opened up, Gene, in the beginning with what you said, they talk about how tough it is to exercise. They don't have time and all the excuses. You hang around fit people, they don't talk like that. They talk about how fun exercise is, how much good they feel, how great diets are because you have so much energy and vitality and you look great, you feel great. That's the kind of exposure you need when you want to succeed at something. You want to be rich, you hang around rich people. You want to be fit, hang around fit people. Don't hang around people that are failing. Hang around people that are succeeding.
Okay, so my biggest downfall is this. I'm just going to lay this out for you because this is my biggest excuse for my own personal battle. And that is, I love to sit down after work, after a long day, make a beautiful meal, sit down with my family and enjoy it. But I know this about myself. If I eat late at night, I gain weight every time. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how healthy it is. Just something about my metabolism late at night, and I know myself well enough to know this. So I know that means that if I'm going to sit down with my family, I've got to sit there and not eat while they eat, which first of all is a little awkward. But that honestly is my excuse for the 5 pounds that I'd like to be gone right now. Fix me.
Well, I feel the same. I have the same exact kind of metabolism as you do, apparently. And I think a lot of people do, where you can't. It's really hard to eat at night. And I think that the problem in America is we socialize with food. It's built into our socialization structure, and so we say, hey, let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner. We all do it. It's part of the structure.
Yeah.
But the problem is that that's one of the reasons we gain weight. Why can't we sit and enjoy our family's company without eating or drinking? Why can't we associate it just with socialization and good times with family as opposed to associating it with food? These are just habits that can be broken. They're mental habits that can be broken through mental toughness training, and it's training most people don't have. And honestly, that's why I wrote the book, because I've trained the biggest corporations in the world for 30 years and professional athletes and movie stars and all those people. But most people, the average person, doesn't have this kind of training, and that's really what it's all about, to break habits like that.
Because you make the point that really nothing in life is free, despite what our government would have us believe. Nothing in life is free, and that for everything we do get out of life, we are going to pay a price for that. So we have to decide up front, stop treating ourselves like children, decide up front, this is the price I'm going to pay. Tonight, I'm going to sit down with my family and I'm going to enjoy their company, and it's going to matter to me more to have their company than it is to have that food that I want so badly that makes me feel comforted. There's going to be a price, isn't there?
Absolutely. I mean, everything comes with a price, and I think that's what you're right. I agree with everything you just said. We've got to grow up and realize everything has a price. I mean, if we're gonna sit there and eat at night, and we can't eat at night, we're gonna get fat. I mean, if we eat the wrong foods, we're gonna get fat. But then again, what a great role model you would be in this particular case, to sit there and say, hey, I'm not eating because the story you just told, that you can't eat because you'll gain weight. You're trying to drop the 5 pounds. What a great role model that is to everybody else in the family, to say, wow, look at this. Dr. Jean is being disciplined. She's getting the results, and maybe I should think about doing the same thing. And I think that's something we can all do, maybe as parents and as friends to people that are struggling with this problem, to show them that the mental discipline, the mental toughness really is the answer. And it's not that we're not asking people to go fight a war. It's just an internal war, just for a little bit of time until the new habit takes place.
We don't have a lot of time left, but I want to get to one more question, because you were a professional athlete who then went from professional athlete to self-described, I think you said, fat tub of lard. Those are your words, not mine. And something clicked in your brain. And for people out there who are watching this and that something just hasn't clicked, how can you best describe that moment of truth where you said, this is that moment? It's hard to describe, but I want you to do the best you can to tell the people paying attention here that this is what clicked in you.
It was all vanity for me. It's really easy. I went to a friend's wedding. It was total vanity. It wasn't about health. It should have been, but it wasn't. I went to a friend's wedding, and people when they give you that double look, like they haven't seen me in a long time, but I could tell it was because I was 40 pounds overweight. They're like, oh, hey, Steve. And it was just so embarrassing.
Just vanity.
And I was turning red the entire time I was talking to people at the wedding. And I went home and thought, my God, I'm a mental toughness coach. I know all this stuff. I've written books, about this, gone all over the world talking about this. And I've done this to myself. I need to write my own program. So I wrote a program, and 12 weeks later, I dropped the weight. And I felt so good. I'd never been overweight, and I couldn't believe how many benefits you get all the way across the board. Energy, the way people see you, self-esteem, confidence, being fit just has so many benefits, and I was really glad I did it.
And the book is Fat Loser. They can find it at fatloser.com. Thanks so much for being on the show today, Steve. No more excuses. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dr. Gina. Thanks.
Your calls and letters coming up next. The number, 888-650-8176, 888-650-8176. Or you can go to the Smart Life page at moneybizlife.com, click on the Ask Dr. Gina button, and send us an email. Or you can contact me, of course, Facebook and Twitter. Love seeing you there. Producer Jason, always sitting back in the cage where we keep him in the dark room, monitoring those pages. And he'll be happy to get to your questions right here in this next segment. So you place your calls or emails now. More Smart Life coming up right after this. You stay tuned.